Hello again, friends, and welcome back to Railroader. We're here on our save that we've been doing on a bit of streaming recently. We're testing out some new mods, potentially updating the mod pack in the near future, but wanted to show off, in case you haven't been catching, what we've been up to, do a little bit of stuff. So here we are in Whittier, and you'll notice that Whittier looks quite different. This is actually Rex's Whittier mod. So what that means is most of the interchange is now on the western side of the tracks, and it has 3 tracks to do stuff. Plus the 2 originals over there, so there's a lot of interchange storage area. Plus the 2 through tracks, so that's very, very good. There's also a caboose track back here, and of course heading down. Other things here at Whittier that are kind of interesting. There's a mod up that actually increases the size of the coal loader here from 2 tons to a whole hopper full. Might seem overkill, but for the amount of trains that we run, it's going to save us a bit of time and make us not have to get as much coal hoppers because we have like 4 or 5 on this railroad, including these 2 very, very baby blue ones. So we have that going. We obviously have a couple of car mods going. This is one of the sawmill stake cars that's a little bit different. I really like this for log loads, so it looks really cool. But let's head east first and kind of show off what else is going on with this little railroad, and then we'll actually do some trains, run the trains. So heading east out of Whittier, eventually we reach Thomas Valley Cabbage. So this is the custom, I almost want to call it custom mod that was made by Rex for me and for those on the channel, which includes Thomas Valley Cabbage, and it also includes a coal mine. If you head up this branch line right here, there's a coal mine that you could actually deliver stuff to. So that's really cool. So that's sort of a custom mod. It helps fill some space, gives a lot of purpose to head east here. From there, you can see there's a lot of little buildings. Flanagan and Rex have been working on populating the world, and it looks absolutely incredible, so give them some love. They have some mods up on Nexus Mods and the Railroader Discord. We have Wilmot, which has a little bit more space for track and also has buildings now, so it actually looks like a place as opposed to just a random field that you stop at. So that's cool. The current iteration of the mod pack does not have Barkertown in it because we wanted to try to limit what we were doing east and head more west. So Barker's Creek's still here. You still have the pulpwood dump. And then eventually you're going to head up the mountain here and you have the tunnel at Coe. But after the tunnel, as you see, right after the passing siding here, you actually have a branch line. And this is one of those Elks Coe mod, I believe is what it is. It's up on Nexus. And has a couple of industries that you can drop off cars for and take care of, which includes, if I'm looking at this right, the Cannonball Broom Manufacturing Company, Finnegan Pickling, and a candle company. So a couple of little industries here, so it gives you a little bit more to do from there. Then, of course, you head down towards Dillsboro, and nothing really has changed much in Dillsboro. We do have, once I unlock it here, a few more tracks, which will help us out for some switching and other things. This is, again, Flanagan's mod for Dillsboro, which changes the track here for some of your house stuff and adds a lot of buildings and adds cars. So it looks actually really cool. On the date this is recorded, the experimental branch has dropped. We're not playing in it just yet because it's breaking all the mods, so we'd rather not have it break mods and just enjoy what we've been doing so far. Because, I mean, look at that. That's the classic scene. Little Model T truck waiting. Then, of course, you fly over to Silva. Silva, once again, has buildings added. And then we also have Plague Doctor's Silva Y mod, which works really great for car storage. And, of course, there's paperboard and all of that with the normal Silva interchange. So that has been exciting. Now, heading west out of here, and you can see some of the track that we have up there. We go back to Whittier proper. We do have the Stenzel cars that are adding the second track here. So those are currently unloading on this save. We have the Whittier populated mod made by Grizz. We have a passenger train that we need to run at some point here. We have one of the locomotives just kind of sitting. Oh, and that's a new track. I did not notice this before. I'm not sure what that's for. I will have to ask Rex about that. But adds a little bit more storage and stuff. And then you come down, you follow the line heading west towards Bryson. And then we have not Birdtown, but we actually have Grizz's Ela Industries, which includes the Higgly Piggly factory. It's basically a cannery, Carolina Charcoal, so we have a charcoal company back here. Ela Farm Supply is still there. Hoggly Woggly Cannery. I keep calling it Piggly Wiggly. Jameson Meat, so a meat packing plant, and then Tuckasegee Spirits for all of the good things in life. So this is a bit more simplified than Birdtown. Birdtown's still awesome, but this a little bit easier to manage, especially with a smaller team of people. So we're trying to see what we could do as we go west, so this will be nice to go. We have quite a bit of cars delivered there and doing stuff, so that's exciting. We're still trying to expand over the bridge at Ela, but there was also a logging little thing dropped a few days ago, and one of the most defining features is the fact that the track, like most logging railroads, they wouldn't build a bridge. They would just go through the river if they needed to cross. So that looks kind of interesting, and we're going to see how that all plays together and see how that works. Because you know me, I love logging railroads, and I want all of them now. Then after that, as we head over towards Bryson, nothing has really changed much on Walker except for the fact that we've extended the switchback so that way they can haul longer trains. So that'll be good when we start running over there. We do have the East Bryson Yard, so all that stuff is in place. We just haven't unlocked it yet. We have Full Twist Ice Cream Factory mod. We have, of course, the normal Bryson Yard with a bit of an extension on the Y to help turn longer trains. Bryson itself, we also have Wilson Acid Company. So that'll unlock once we get over here. And, of course, then when you get over here, we also have the West Bryson Interchange and the West Bryson Industries. So they've been updated. They have more tracks now. We'll be able to do that sooner rather than later to work with, but we need to get to Bryson first. And then, of course, over here is the West Bryson Interchange, which will become our primary interchange once we start running to it. Not much is different then if you head west from Hemingway, Alarka Junction. Nothing too different up onto there until you get to Alarka proper, because up here there was a new thing for the chemical company. So I forget who made the mod. I'll try to link it down there, but it has now actual structures for the chemical company, so you could drop more tank cars for that, and also a turnaround loop, so you don't have to necessarily use the Y that was a little bit too small. So that's going to be exciting to use once we unlock it up at Alarka. We do have the Almond Industries that have been added, so those have been showed off before. Those have 2 or 3 little industries right here at Almond. So again, once we start running further west, we have that. Wesser has the Wesser Industries, which again we don't have access to yet, but adds a very interesting take on what can be done in this little bit of space here. So that's cool. We have a passing siding, Cater's Grassy passing siding, and then over here at Nantahala, we have a new mod that Flanagan and Foxy have been working on with one of their things, plus the Flanagan coal mine. So lots of stuff going on over here. A lot of stuff that we're looking to do as we expand. So should be fun. But with that, we need to get back to Whittier. We have Huntington Broadtop Mountain Railroad number 1, which has just dropped off a train at our new interchange sidings. We do have a few cars we need to go and wrap up. Most of the switching down here has been done. We also have things up on the mountain that are currently getting loaded up. So we don't need to go up there just yet, although, let's see. So that's done, but we also have this one errant car that we need to take. Okay. So what we might do instead over here at ELA is some of the new industries, and we're actually going to grab another locomotive. We're going to take number 10, which is over here at Whittier proper. It's a little switcher engine. So we will take Huntington Broadtop number 10 and just get it over. We're going to take the passenger train with us just so we can make a passenger delivery. It's got plenty of coal and water. And we will see what we can do here. What whistle did Flanagan put on this? That's P6. That makes perfect sense. So another thing you'll see is we have a couple of crossover switches here at Whittier. This is also part of Rex's Whittier mods, so it's kind of interesting. It's kind of nice to have it, actually. And I'm not sure whether this is just a storage track or something new, but I'm going to have to ask Rex about that when we next get to some stuff here. And of course, I'm way overshooting this stuff. So let's see. Let's go ahead and back up. Let's just go ahead and back up here and get everything more or less set up with the passenger train. The passenger train's been full. We honestly probably need to get another passenger car or two, so we'll do that at a future date and time, because holy hell, there's 210 passengers who need to go to ELA. Cheese and rice, to quote Flanagan. Cheese and rice. So here we are, our little 060 switcher, which is going to come quite in handy with a lot of the switching stuff over here. So let's just slowly back onto the train. Come on, nice and gentle here. Nice and gentle. Alrighty, get the consist released. Passengers are all on board. Let's go. Alright, nice and gentle here, please. Let's get out of here. Now back in the hot seat here. Obviously everything's still as it was. Let's open up. That flexibility. So this has all been just another way to try to test out stuff. It's been weird these past few weeks. I've been so busy with music stuff against Broadtop, and other things that it's been kind of strange because I haven't been playing Railroader as much, and it seems like every time I turn my head, there's a new mod or several mods that have all just dropped in that amount of time. So allows us here to then try out some new stuff, see what's going on, and again, just kind of see what's up with it. But yeah, we'll get over here. As I said, we're testing out all these new mods. A mod pack drop may come in the next few days, but we're still doing some testing. There's also some stuff in the works that I can't talk about yet that, if it happens, would be very nice. Got this going here. And thankfully, we've got all of our other stuff more or less set up for tomorrow to be turned on. And now that we have the bigger interchange, we'll actually be able to get bigger car drops at Whittier. We also have quite a bit of money in the bank right now because of delivering a lot of interchange cars. So let's pay down the debt. Let's go here, finance. So we're still at about 15 grand of debt because we've been buying some cars and engines, but we will allow that to hopefully go down as we keep working with this. So we're almost over to Ela proper. Once we get into there, we're going to go ahead and take this passing siding. Actually, no, we're going to take the train to the passenger station first. Then we'll drop off the passenger cars, and then that'll allow us to continue working the interchanges over here. Because what we'll probably do, we've got this one string of cars in this new yard, so we'll just go ahead and deliver all those, and then we'll be pretty much all set. We're going to leave some of the other ones here to continue to be unloaded. Go ahead and reduce this down as we go around the corner. Because pretty much after we get around this 30 curve is where the switch is, and you can see it coming up now. And this is, again, Grizz's Ela Industry Pack. So let's see. Hopefully I don't slow down too much here, but I do want to make sure we're not going crazy. One of the things that's still being worked out, obviously, is telegraph line placement, because having it right in the center of your track as the train's going by is not quite optimal. But, you know, it is nice. Over here, though, you do have a 2-stall engine house, which does serve as actual repair facilities. And there's our line of freight cars. This is going to Tuckasegee Spirits, I believe, for the most part. So that'll be good. And then I think we've got, one Jameson meat car. So you'll be able to see what happens with that as we get over to it. And we could probably just drop the passenger train either on this track here, or we'll leave it on... Yeah, we'll probably just leave it up there. We'll leave it on the main, actually, so that'll be nice. Alrighty, so here comes the passenger train into town, and then we'll be able to really get some freight going here. So... Alrighty. Now with that here, we should be able to unload all our passengers, which shouldn't take too long. And actually, we could probably just, since it's a short train, we'll just leave the passengers here. They'll unload at their leisure, which will allow us to get to work with switching out some of this other stuff. So we'll go ahead and cross over on these tracks. It is nice when you only have a 3-car passenger train, because you don't have to think about it too much. I mean, you do, but you don't. But you do, but you don't. You know, one of those things. And it will be nice. The main focus of this is obviously going to be freight. I've seen other folks do mainly passenger ops, and if that's your boat, awesome. For us, though, we're freight people. We need to move heavy cargo, decent distances, and make sweet, sweet cash money. So let's go ahead. The way that the meat plant is right here, I believe. Yeah, this is Jameson Meats. So this, more or less, can just be shoved in. I think this is R1 and S1. And as our little engine goes back, the one that we have is a R1, which I could just tack at the end there. And then Tuckasegee Spirits is this industry right here, and to a lesser point right there. So we can drop off a few more cars and then have those get serviced and then be good to go. The beauty of this mod, though, which unfortunately we can't use because of how this is spotted, but it has crossover switches about halfway through the yard. So if you're bringing multiple cuts of cars down, you can actually move around a bit in this yard and have stuff isolated, which makes switching a lot easier. So it is a nice little feature to have. And we'll make sure that as we go down here, we're not going to hit a crossover switch by accident. which looks like everything's lined. I've been trying to harp on the guys to always normalize switches, because a normalized switch is a happy switch, and that usually prevents a lot of accidents or little oopsies or different things. So, all right, let's get around here, and then we will be able to get all of this set up. And then let's go ahead and get this all coupled together. And then we should be rolling. Alrighty, come on, you. Nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. Come on. So far, most of my hitches have been pretty nice, and I'm not looking to break that streak now. Make sure this is all hitched up. Now it is. A little bit of slack action, and I'm going to be lazy and just release the consist. And you do see we have one of the mods on here that helps with air hoses and hand brakes and stuff. It makes life a lot easier. All right. So now that our dude's back in, brakes are off. Shove this puppy forward. Get all that slack action out. And then we're going to make sure we are aligned for where we need to go. So first things first, we're going to deliver that meat car. And the way this is set up is we basically have a run around here, your through track, and then you have 2 storage tracks here at Tuckasegee Spirits. So this is for glass bottles or grain. I think it's just grain. This is your grain drop. Then you have a yeast drop. And then you have your alcohol that is brought in. So, plenty to do with that. And then on the back side here is where the actual finished product gets loaded and you can haul it out. Back here, as I said, the charcoal company, so wood chips are brought in. And charcoal briquettes are taken out. Back here, you do have, as I said, the meat plant, so you have livestock that's brought in. And then you have meat that's brought out. You also have some coal dumps for your power. So that's always fun. And then we have the cannery on the other side, which we won't really look too much at today. Actually, while we're moving, we still got a fair distance to go before we shove these in. Basically, over here at Hoggly Woggly, you have your vegetables that are coming in. You have canned vegetables going in, or going out, I'm sorry. Canned vegetables going out. You have tin plates coming in, and you have coal. So again, some interesting new mods, some new interesting industries to serve. And the best part is it is something that one person can do. Right now it's just me. The other guys are doing other things right now, but yeah, it is quite nice to be able to handle it solo and not feel overwhelmed. All right, and nice and slowly, if we can bring this train to a halt. Okay. Go ahead and apply a handbrake there. We'll go ahead and tie the air in on this cut, so that way all cars are there. We definitely didn't do some kicking beforehand. We definitely didn't do any kicking beforehand. All right, so that livestock car's there. That one's pretty full, and then this one's about half full. So I don't know how long the turnover is on some of these industries. That's the other wild card. Is sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not. We're currently at tier 3, I believe, for most of the stuff here. Yeah, tier 3, tier 3, tier 3, and tier 3. Which again, tier 3 is usually a good, like, here's your average running. You have maybe a handful of people that you're playing with, but not an exorbitant amount. Tier 5 is like you like pain and you want to suffer, which we've definitely done plenty of on this railroad. I mean, it is a offshoot of the Suffer and Southern, you know, maybe, but maybe not. Who knows? So let's go ahead back up. We've got the grain cars that we're going to shove in, and thankfully there's 2 placements of grain. So we're going to put it on the closest track while this one continues to unload, because hopefully then these will just continue to unload first, then these will unload next. And then we have our empty cars that'll be loaded up with alcohol. And then we have, what else do we have? We have our glass bottles, so. All right, nice and gently we'll go ahead and get this switched out. The one thing I do wish is maybe to have like a platform or something right here for the farming machinery, like something that, or I guess maybe they would just use a ramp or something to lower any farm equipment out of here. But of course you're dealing with a stock location versus a modded location, so I guess I can't be too picky. Or maybe I can be. I don't know. I'm a picky bitch sometimes. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Also, a huge shout out to whoever designed these little trucks. I can't remember if they were stock in-game or not. But being able to place them at buildings and stuff just gives so much little life and little character to wherever they're placed. I know Flanagan has been using them and a few others, and they're just so awesome. As we shove these cars in, thankfully we don't have too many. Go ahead, back off on the throttle a bit. Just kind of glide in, and we've got plenty of space to stop. And hopefully, let's see, yeah, we'll go ahead and put another 3 or 4 pounds on. And boom, money. Apply the handbrakes on there. So next is our spirits track, and that's going to be S1, S2. Which again, thankfully, because we've already done a little bit of switching in some of the past live streams, that's just right there. And come on, you can go faster than that. And once again, once we're through, we're going to go ahead and normalize our switches because I'm going to practice what I preach. And wow, this one's already dumping meat as well. Does this one stop? No, it's... I think it's still going? I don't know. I can't tell. And again, here, we're going to normalize. That way no train accidentally comes running through and hits all the grain cars there. Go ahead, we'll put a 5-pound set on, which should slow us around as we go down this curve. Slow us around as we go down this curve. You could tell that I might be recording this early in the morning because my brain apparently has not quite functioned. Slow us down while we go around this curve is probably the correct English, but you know. We just do what we do. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we've got 2 R2, 3 R2 glass bottle cars. R2 is going to be, I believe, those are R1s. R2, I think, is back here. But we'll double check that here as we go through. Yeah, it's around the corner. So thankfully we'll have stuff delivered pretty much everywhere here in Ela. And yeah, we do have cars that we could take back to the interchange, but I'd rather wait since it's only 9:52 in the morning. We don't have an interchange drop until tomorrow, so all of the cars that we got in are still here, which will allow us to kind of tidy up some other stuff, take care of some other past drops and some other things before needing to really do anything. Let's go ahead. We'll start slowing up as we get into the track here. And, all right, come on. You're almost all the way in. I need to keep shoving through this set that I put. And thankfully, with what we have, it's like the perfect amount of cars. Like, again, if you're doing a single-player op or only like maybe 2 or 3 people, stick with Tier 3. Don't go crazy with Tier 2. Or, I'm sorry, not Tier 2, Tier 4 or 5. Unless you are only running maybe like a short portion of railroad. Like, if you're only focusing like Whittier to Ela, go nuts if you want. If that is your MO, go nuts. Alrighty. So that consists to set. And let's go ahead, move this back. And then I guess once we drop off these cars, we'll be done. And we can park the engine in the engine house here to be our new switcher. So that'll be exciting. I don't like how this one doesn't have a name, though. So we might need to label this locomotive. And we'll call this the Dudley, which is actually a name on the Huntington and Broad Top Mountain Railroad. So there's historical precedent here. Make sure I, again, normalize switches. So I'm trying to have this be an homage to them without being a copycat, because obviously they were a coal railroad. This railroad right now is not really coal in the slightest, although we will have some coal once we start operating the stuff down in Thomas Cabbage Valley. Because cabbages love cabbages life, you know. I'm just looking back here. Yeah, the wood chips are still doing their thing. Charcoal's good. Hoggly Woggly has 1 car ready, 2 cars ready, but these all still need work. That coal hopper is still dopping coal. The salt cars are still being salty, and miscellaneous stuff is still being miscellaneously. Yeah, I guess everything's more or less set down here. We just need time to pass so we can do that. We do eventually need to get a dedicated passenger engine. Right now, we've only got 4 engines on the roster. We literally have number 1, which is currently at the interchange. Number 2, which is a Mikado, which I guess could be our road locomotive right now. We have number 4, which is a 280 with a bigger tender. And then we have number 10 here. So number 1, I think, is going to become the logging switcher. Number 2 is kind of our road locomotive for the moment. And then number 4 is also a road locomotive that, yeah, we'll just have to pick one maybe and just stick with it for a little bit. So, who knows? Alrighty, go ahead, drop these, set the consist, and now we will back this engine up. We're going to go ahead and get it also set just to get fixed up at Ela. Mainly because the tender derailed or hit something, and it looks a little worse for wear. So I want to make sure that it is back and beautiful and ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get this one all parked and ready to go. Switches are again normalized. We will not be highballing to the yard. guess there's a random bit of track up there. I'm not sure what that's for. But yeah, we've more or less everything set on this railroad. Probably next time we'll do a little bit of some switching down at Whittier. Get some cars back to the interchange. Maybe do some logging stuff. It looks like most of the logging cars are now ready to go. And then milestone-wise, we've ordered the next batch of cars for the Ela Bridge. We've not gone to Silva yet, but I think our goal is to go to Bryson first and try to maximize that and see what we can do, because we've always added all these Bryson mods, and then we always get fuddled up in the details of things. So. Alrighty, nice and gently as we back up here to the yard. Alright, nice and gentle. All right, that's a really big text for Dudley. I want to probably make that smaller. Let's do that real quick. But maybe we'll stop the engine first so we can actually go into a shed. And if you do that, yeah, there we go. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. Much better. All right, and using the beautiful power reverser, and it threw back on us. Yeah, but we got plenty of coal, we got plenty of water. Eventually it'd be nice to have a water plug here, and maybe a coal drop, but that's when you start getting to the nitty-gritty, picky stuff of things. And yeah, we're not under the smoke jack, but I don't really care. Let's make sure that that is good. Put a handbrake on, and looks like we are set. So done a little bit of switching. We brought our passenger train over, and now we are good to go. So thank you for joining us here. We'll continue to be playing around in some more modded railroad later this week. So definitely check out the live streams that happen once or twice a week. And for those of you who are channel members, you are watching this early. You'll get it 2 days early. This go around, so you'll get early access. So if you want to get early access to videos, have access to fun stuff and streams and that, consider becoming a channel member. A huge thank you to all of those who are members. And otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.